So here's
Hi,
Pandora.
Hello. She's like, where are we? What are we doing? Welcome back to My Cat Calling, the podcast for cat people by cat people. I'm Krista Moy. I'm a comedian, writer, designer, and cat mom to this golden bachelor, Prince Gary. He's showing off his glorious butthole today. We've got a great episode today with special guest Ana and her cats Pandora and Bagheera. If you haven't yet, join our Pawdience. Follow us everywhere on social at My Cat Calling and subscribe to our channels wherever you get your podcasts. We would very much appreciate your support to help grow this indie podcast. If you know a cat lover who might like what we're shedding out, share this episode with them. Spread the purd. It's time for our mood check today. How you doing today, Prince Gary? He's got his fuck ice heart that he's so excited about. Both of them, actually. And I've got a total scratchy throat, allergies, or something's going on with me today. I'm not sure what, but we're going to make the best of it, aren't we? Aren't we, Prince? He's already ripped off the C of the fuck ice. That's hilarious. All right, witches, it's time for our cat tarot reading of the week. I am using the Cat Tarot deck by Megan Lynn Cott. Let's see what we have for the cards this week. Want to put some energy into those, Prince? He's a little riled up. He's a little riled up today. You want to pick it? All right. Prince pulled, the Wheel of Fortune. That's a good one. Excuse me. From the Major Arcana, leave the rat race to the rats. You're rolling with the punches. This card reminds us that life is circular and cyclical. Sometimes you're at the top of the wheel, and sometimes you're at the bottom, but you'll always go up again. The bowl of water represents plenty. The eagle represents strength. Mice represent trust and opportunity. So many upsides. Let the spinning wheel spin. Love that. As you can see, there's an eagle, a mice, wheel. I think it's just like, let's roll with it, guys. Life is crazy right now. We're living in a crazy world, and I think this is a hopeful card that things are on their way up because, they can't go down forever, right? Next up, the cat thread. This week is a video from Sir Arthur Meows. Take a look.
Arthur, what's the matter? I've had a lie-in, yes.
Prince, look. Prince,
You've already had your treats.
Prince,
you've had your breakfast.
He's so mad.
You've had your medicine. So what's the problem? You upset that I had a lie-in?
How dare you?
Well, I'm sorry. I've had a busy week and I'm tired. And then you came to my door, didn't you? You did.
His ears
You
are like...
shouted at my door, just like that. Yes.
He's so mad.
To make sure that I woke up.
Oh my god.
And now here we are.
Prince, you are missing this comedy right now.
And you're still shouting at me. You're not getting any treats off. Nope. That's right. None for you. She woke me up. Woke me up. Yeah, it's
Oh my god, Arthur. Oh, you are too much. That is adorable. He's so funny and so mad. Now it's time for our Purd of Advice segment. If you have a cat-related question you would like a second opinion on, I'm no expert, I'm just a lady with a cat. Email us at mycatcalling@gmail.com. Your question may be read aloud on the show. Our question this week comes from Tammy. She says, "Hi, Krista and Prince Gary. Thanks for making such a great podcast. I found a stray kitten outside a few days ago. It seems to be friendly and without a home. Should I adopt this cat? What should I do first before inviting it into my home?" Yes, Tammy, adopt the cat. You can take it to a vet and get it checked for a microchip to ensure, that it doesn't belong to anybody else. Then I would advise spaying and neutering as the next step is always a good option. But if you're asking, my answer is always going to be adopt the cat. All right, we're going to take a short break and we'll be back. Welcome back, Pawdience. Our guest today is a dear friend of mine. She is a writer, director, producer, and definitely someone who stops to say hi to every animal. Please welcome to the podcast, Anna and her cats Pandora and Bagheera.
Hello. They do not
Hello.
wish to be pictured.
Oh, well, maybe, I don't know. They can't be called?
I mean, they don't come when they're called. They do what
Okay,
they will. And I'm a very
that's fine.
my dogs I'm a lot more structured with. My cats are like, I get it. You can do what you do. I might be able to go pick up Pandora and
Okay.
hold her if you want to wait just a second. She hates being picked up, but she likes being held. So we'll see if
Okay.
that.
Well, we're all about consent on this podcast. If it's something she's consenting to somewhat, that would be amazing. But, we're not going to contrive it too hard. But yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
try,
Bagheera's off sleeping under the couch. I can't pick him up yet. I can barely pet him at this
that's
stage.
fine.
Because
That's
he's
fine.
street cat rescue. Let me go see if I can get Pandora.
Okay.
It's not going to be that long. She's probably going to be like, okay, this is fine, but okay, I'm done.
Just a quick second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So here's
Hi,
Pandora.
Hello. She's like,
No,
where are we? What are we doing?
what is happening here?
Was she
I do not know.
sleeping?
She was
Hi.
resting on my bed, which is usually where she spends most of her days.
Yeah.
And then we'll do her patrols, as I
Yeah.
call them.
She's got
Make
a
sure that everything
schedule.
is in line. Do you want to stand here? Sometimes when I pick her up, if I'm working, I'll put her on the edge of the desk, and she'll just lay here right next to me on the
That's
desk.
so sweet. I've been considering getting I think it's called a desk nest. I'm not getting paid to say that. I literally just want I've been looking into it, and it's it clamps onto your desk, and it's a bed that is kind of above
Okay,
your
I don't know if you
desk.
can see. Now she's now laying on the edge of.
Oh, okay.
She's just out of frame, but she's like, okay, I do not really enjoy being. And yes, this is your butthole. Thank you.
Photographed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks for showing us that. The goods.
You want to get down? That's that. That's Pandora says no. She's like, I'm gonna sleep. If she changes her mind,
That's
I will let you
totally
know.
fine. Prince Gary usually is in his sun spot right now. This is his sun time. There's a little square of sun on the floor at this hour. So I very much appreciate you volunteering your time. Well, not really volunteering, but being persuaded.
Voluntold.
Voluntold, exactly. Exactly.
That's so funny. Yeah, this is solid nap time. This is after
Yeah.
gotten up, done the whole rigmarole.
Yeah. We've got
yeah.
cuddles though. You're in a soft, cuddly space. Huh.
Yeah.
Bud.
I did used to have if you'd started this podcast a few years ago, I had a cat. Her name was Sabrina. And she's the white cat that's in some of the photos I sent you.
Yeah.
She really wasn't a big fan of being held, but she was very chill and did like to snuggle. And so if I held her, she wouldn't like it, but she would probably sit here on the desk and just cuddle against
Yeah.
me. And she was the most chill cat I think that I've ever had in terms of everything. She loved to
Yeah.
snuggle. She was just, I'm going to hang out right next to you, whatever that looks like. And she would come out and just really she's also a rescue. And once I got her, she was she used to be really afraid and would just hide, and you could never find her. Even she was just amazing at hiding.
Mm.
And then once I got her and she came out of her shell, you couldn't keep her away from people. It's she was actually social. She liked
Yeah.
to get pets and get love from people. But my cats that I have now, they're also Pandora likes to get
A little
attention
more
from
independent.
me. And then occasionally she'd like to get, if somebody's around enough, she'll come out with them. But yeah, I always just am well, we'll see. It's a roll of the dice of what the personality is.
Yeah. Was Sabrina
We'll
your
see.
first cat?
No.
What's your
she's
history? What's your history with cats? Were you always a cat person?
yeah, like I would say I'm always like an animal person. Like I always
Okay.
loved pets and animals and like I don't know. I think growing up just was all we always had at least like three. You know, we'd have like a cat, sometimes two cats and a bird, or like a a cat, a bird, a turtle, and a rodent of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Mom's always like, the cats are gonna eat your whatever the
Yeah.
rodent was, and they usually didn't. Like it was pretty good. Although I was pretty
That's
like,
good.
I don't want you to eat this other like little creature that I have, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep an eye on the cage and you know
That's
pet proof
good.
and yeah.
I had like rodents and birds and cats growing up too, and my cat definitely ate the bird, and I came home to a head waiting for me and started screaming. As a little girl, that was so traumatizing. I didn't
That's
know that
that's
was I was just like, "Ah!" And then that was it. The bird was donezo.
that's hilarious. Yeah, we I grew up in Texas and Missouri both. And so it was like both time like in both states it was, grew up uh in the city as well as in the country depending on like, a few years in the city. So there was a lot of times I just was really, really accustomed to hunting. And so like waking up in the morning and like finding out that your cat had like killed a mouse or in the middle of the
Yeah.
night or something, or like
Pretty standard.
yeah, and so much so that I was like, wow, I think that like my apartment here in LA is like really, really, really mouse proof. Like, cause I had never seen or like seen any evidence of one. Um, and then there was like one morning, I think one found its way in and I like got up and like went to, I was going to go walk the dogs and like went to where like the leashes are. And there was just like a dead mouse. It's like,
Decapitated or just dead?
it was just dead.
Okay.
It wasn't even, like, partially eaten. I think that they killed it but didn't know what to do with it because 'cause they're just so well
Yeah.
fed. Um,
Right. They're like, I was just playing and it happened to die.
oh, well, they also, like, hunt things
Oops.
like crickets and flies, and so I feel
That's
like
good.
yeah, I feel like they'll kill the thing that they're hunting, but then again, like, they're just well fed, they don't know what to do with it. Like,
Yeah,
they're
that's
it doesn't even
Prince.
occur to them. Yeah.
Prince is like completely useless in that department. We actually like saw a mouse. Well, my husband saw a mouse like a couple like last week. And so we've
Mhm.
been like doing so much to mouse proof our house and just like we're just like, dude, what are you doing? Like he has a toy that's a mouse that we put his treats inside. And that's like the closest thing to killing a mouse that he will get. Like he's so useless. I'm like, he was sleeping when that was happening. I was like, "Where?" I was like, "Where was Prince when you saw the mouse?" And he's like, "Asleep on the bed with you." I'm like, "Wow, thanks, buddy. You had one job, one job. Look at him.
Yeah. No,
He's not. He's not a
he's
hunter."
definitely no, he's definitely the ancient being that was like, I'm really tired of hunting, and I'm gonna go
Yeah,
to this like these cavemen and just see if they have any food they want to give me.
yeah.
And then I'm gonna domesticate myself. That's
He's
Prince.
like,
He's
"I'm an
like,
evolved being. I'm not a, I'm not a savage. I will not hunt. The food is brought to me. I am
that's so
royalty after all. I do not
yeah.
gather. I do not hunt.
I shall not.
I
I
shall
shall not.
not."
It's so funny. And I also like I don't know if it which cat it was that killed the mouse. It's possible that it was Bagheera because he spent some time. But it's also possible every now and then like Pandora, she is like pretty fervent about hunting like crickets and flies. And
Mm,
like she does not put up with that buffoonery. If you were in her house, she's the most like if there's like
she'll
anything
get
that's
you.
like crawly, she's gonna chase after it until she gets it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know which one. I feel like she's like, I don't want you in my house. I shall kill you.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, like we have always had cats like ever since, I was like little and could, just this is my kitty. I was like a
Yeah.
toddler. Um, and, you know, we would rescue. I remember even like growing up, which is really funny because like now my mom doesn't like cats at all. She says she's
Really?
allergic. Yeah, I think that
Claims.
she yeah, claims. But I do remember always having cats. Like, we would, if there was somebody like a neighbor or a friend that their cat had a litter of cats, once they were like weaned, we'd, go get one. And there are even times like if, they just found a litter of cats and they would, we'd bottle feed them, until they
Yeah.
were like, okay, and then, give them away and find homes and stuff like that. And it was the country, so it was usually pretty easy to find people to like raise them until they're old enough to like be barn
Mhm.
cats. And yeah, so it's like have always had cats and in addition to dogs. And I know a lot of people when I walk on the street, I do stop and say hi to every dog. And
Every
everyone's like, "You're such a dog person." I'm like, "Listen, if people brought their cats out more, I would absolutely stop and say hi." But
Yeah.
like it's usually like 9 to 1. Like if you meet 10 people, 9 of them will have a cat or dog, and then 9 of them will have a dog, and then one of them might have a cat. I
I
ran
don't
into
think I've
somebody one.
ever seen somebody walking a cat outside. I mean, I I
Yeah,
I see it online, but as I'm out, I've never seen somebody with a cat on a leash.
there was one neighbor. He moved away. He had a cat that her name was Kirby, and was on a harness. And they didn't go for like walks, but they would explore the area right outside the
Mm.
neighborhood, or like right outside of his apartment. And then there's this one couple, they have 2 little dogs and they have a black cat named Binks, and they put him in a backpack. And then
Ooh.
they walk, and so I can kind of like pet him through like the little hole that's in
That's always been my
the
dream to have a backpack. When I first got Prince, I got a backpack and I was like, he's gonna be like, I'm gonna walk around Brooklyn and be so cute. And like the second I put him in there, he's like screaming bloody murder. There was a window and he would like fog up the window with like how like intense he was screaming. And it would like you couldn't
Oh.
even see him. It was just like this fog of like spit and I was just like, all right, there goes that dream. You're not an outdoor cat and you're not
But
gonna be carried around in a cute little backpack carrier. Gonna have to find
no.
another dream.
Yep. Yeah. It's the same with mine. Every now and then I'm like, oh man, I would love to have a cat that does this. I'm pretty vehemently like a rescue person. So
Yeah.
I always say that it's like luck of the draw, I
Yeah, and you have to meet them where they're at. You can't really,
exactly.
like, force
Yeah.
unless you wanna be cruel, but yeah,
Yeah. No,
I
that's why
learned
yeah, sorry.
yeah, I
Um
learned that pretty quickly. You gotta just take the cat you get and don't be upset.
yeah, exactly. I think I've had enough like different kinds of cats, like with different personalities. Some that were like really,
Yeah,
really social, some were really outdoors, some were both, some are like vehemently indoors.
yeah,
These two are like, the ones that I have right now are pretty antisocial and like they just kind of like to do their own thing. They're very independent. And
yeah.
then until they're not, and then they're like, okay, we don't want to be independent right now. But the clock is ticking. Our
Mhm.
independence is going to kick back in any second. And then you just wait. And so it's like, all right, like this is where we're at. It's no skin off my neck to
Yeah.
just do whatever you want to do. Um, this is
Yeah, just
your
be
house. I just
grateful.
live it.
Yeah, just be grateful for any crumbs that they give you of affection and
Yeah.
and cuddles, for sure.
Yeah.
So, was Sabrina your first catcalling connection with a cat that you felt, like, called to?
I actually had a cat who was like, is it calico? It's the when they're like kind of peach and like gray stone colored, like muddled. What is that called again?
I think that's calico,
Yeah. Um,
when they have,
I
like,
had a
multiple colors going on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had a cat when I was little. Her name was Mercy. She was my sweet little cat. And I loved her and I think about her a lot. And this is also something that was like very, very like of the time. This is kind of a sad story, so maybe you don't have to put the whole thing in there. But
It's
she
okay.
was she was a very, very sweet cat. She had what I now think that we recognize as cerebellar hyperplasia, where she just kind of had like the shakes and was like a little wobbly. And so we had her for quite a few years. And I think my mom was worried that there was like something else wrong with her. Um, because I do think she probably got put down a bit prematurely just because like that wasn't really understood. Um, or
Mm,
like, I mean, she wasn't a kitten. I remember having her for like a number of years, but I do think that like it kind of got to a point when she was like older and like the first sign of a health issue. I think that my mom just didn't understand, and the world at large didn't understand. I think even the vet didn't understand. Like they didn't think like, oh, this is cerebellar hyperplasia. Now, if you take a wobbly cat into the vet nowadays, like it's much
yeah.
more.
And there wasn't TikTok back then with like all the hashtags of, wobbly cat and
Yeah.
to kind of bring awareness to it.
Yeah. 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 And so, like, this was in the early 90s that this was
Yeah.
all and stuff. And so she was probably like the first cat that I had that was just like my companion because she was just the sweetest, the sweetest. Yeah. And then again, just I kind of go with whatever animal is like abandoned and needs a home the most. And
Yeah.
it was a little dog for a while. And then Sabrina was actually a cat that belonged to one of my mom's ex-boyfriends. When he moved out, he left her behind. And she would just, whenever I would go over and visit my mom and them, I would always go down and he was like, "Oh, I have a cat." And I would go down and visit her. And, I would be the one visiting to like, change the litter and make sure she had food and clear out her water and like
Yeah.
make sure. And so I would visit pretty frequently to make sure that she was okay. And she would kind of come out for me and, she wasn't even my cat and I felt really bad. And so then when he moved out, I was kind of like, oh, yay, great. Like
Yeah.
maybe the reason why she's so like skittish and hiding is because this guy's like not taking good care of her, which I think
She's like,
was
this is my person.
yeah. And then so whenever he left, my mom was just gonna like put her outside. And I was
Oh,
like, she's an indoor cat. Like you can't just put an indoor cat and like
no.
assume that they'll be okay. Like that's not true. That's not okay.
Yeah.
And so she became mine and she was just so, so lovely that like she definitely had a lot of like love to give. And
Yeah.
it was probably the first cat since the cat that I had since I was a child that really, really like just connected and was like, you're my best friend.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And was very, very sweet. And yeah, so I really just
Are you done, Prince?
enjoyed seeing
He's
her come
done.
out of her shell. Oh, bye, Prince.
I know. It's usually about 20 minutes, so he actually lasted a
A
little bit
while. Yeah.
longer.
He's like, the sun is calling my name.
Yeah. So tell
Um,
me your meet cute story with Pandora and Bagheera.
okay. So Pandora was I had the little dog that's in the photos usually with she's brown with Bagheera. Her name was Sadie and I was taking her. She was also a rescue. I found out the sad / hard way that she was not fixed. Not, and I don't mean like the hard way as in she had puppies. I mean that like she got an infection and that's how
Oh,
I found
okay.
out. So I dropped her off for the procedure and then they were like, do you want a cat? No kidding. Because I guess somebody had like dropped, this was in Missouri, in like somewhat rural Missouri. And somebody had dropped a box of kittens like the month prior on the doorstep of this vet's office. And
Like
she
it's just
was,
like a box of like, oh, I made too many muffins, like here. Like
yeah,
as if it's
yeah.
excess.
It was so, I'm
That's
like, oh, well,
wild.
glad that they like survived the box. They didn't like get out and wander off
Yeah.
or anything. But they'd successfully given away the rest of the litter. And she was the last one. And they thought that it was a boy. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, great. Like I didn't have a boy cat. I had Sabrina at the time. And I was like, yes, this is great. I can't really like watch. I have to go to work. I'm going to be bringing my dog home and then I will be able to watch because I have to watch the dog so I can keep an eye on both.
How old would you say she
Pandora
was
was.
yeah.
She was under a year. And so I would say she's probably like 6 months. Like it was very
Okay.
clear that like once these cats were like old enough to be weaned, they like got rid of
Okay.
them. They were like, no, I'm gonna put you in the and also I think the rest of them had been given away at that time. Like they had
Yeah.
found homes. She was the last one that was there like after like a month or something like that. So she was a young little gal. So I brought her home with me and I was like, oh well, they don't know what to do with her. I was like, maybe I'll see if somebody else wants her. Like we'll see. And then
Yeah.
she pretty quickly stole my heart. And so I was
Yeah.
like, no. And then Sabrina also loved her. Like I thought that maybe they'd be friends, but Sabrina, to my knowledge, like never had any kittens and she was
Uh-huh.
fixed um and she just was so motherly to her and would like bathe her and they would just snuggle all the time and they were such a
Aw.
love fest.
Right away, like
Mm,
from the jump,
pretty much, yeah.
you didn't have to like do any kind of separation with them.
No, they were just like
Wow.
I brought the little cat in and Pandora and right away like Sabrina was just she was just such
Oh,
so loving.
it's like
She
my
was not like that
baby.
whenever she was not like that whenever I brought Bagheera in.
Oh, okay. Not the
I'd
same.
no. I'd hoped that she would be, but it was definitely like a girls' club at that point, and they were like, "We
Yeah.
don't want you here." Um,
Ew, you're a boy. Wait, so why
yeah.
did they think that Pandora was a boy?
I don't know. I think that they'd forgotten that they'd given away the boy because when I picked her up,
Oh, okay.
they're like, "I'm sorry, we misinformed you. Just so you know, like, um, she's a girl and not a boy cat, and we thought that we had the boy cat left." And so I'm guessing that there was a litter mate that was a boy that looked exactly like her. I was like, "All right, that's fine." And it was the first, I think, cat that I'd had that I got to like name all myself. Like there was no
Yeah.
it was young enough that there wasn't any other name, like I renamed them and like
Yeah.
they knew life as with under a different name and they came to know mine.
So how
But
did you pick Pandora?
um she was just it's the simplest version of the legend, which is, a curious woman opens a container, sort
Yeah.
of thing. And, the more you can get more academic with it and
Yeah.
call her a scapegoat, but at the very simplest, Pandora has always been like pretty curious. Like if something new, I bring in like a box into the house, like she might not want it, but she wants to know. Um,
Yeah.
and
It fits her personality.
she almost was named Narcissus because she would like to like look at mirrors and like stare at herself. Um, but that's not something which lasted. And ultimately I was like, no, I think that she's looking at herself because she's curious. And she's curious
Yeah.
about other things
She's
as
not like,
well.
"Oh, this
Yeah.
beauty."
Yeah. So she's just a sweetheart and like very curious and like loving but still like also kind of on her own terms. I had a smaller room back then and like there was like my bed and my desk were kind of my bed was like in a nook and then my desk was like tucked a little bit back like right next, so she would lay on the bed and then jump to my desk and kind of like sit there and like stare at me.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was just very, very always really, really sweet, and curious about wanted to know, what is this? What are you doing? What's going on over here? Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. I'm not interested. I'm gonna go lay down. And like,
Yeah. So her personality in 3 words, how would you say, like, would curious be one of them?
um, yes, I would say curious, bitchy, not derogatory. I feel like that's like she's very
In a
like
good way?
yes, yeah, for better and for worse. She's definitely like sort of a bitchy kitty, but I love that about her. And then
Mhm.
proper. I think that
Oh.
she's like the definition of like a very proper cat. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
loaf. I don't want to be seen as foolish.
Yeah.
It, she's
But
she's
she's
very
definitely curious.
yeah yeah
That's so
she
cute.
yeah so she's curious, bitchy, and very, very proper and like I want to know what this is. I want to explore, but I shall do it on my own terms and
Yes.
so
And
it,
never get too silly about it.
yes, exactly. This is serious curiosity.
Yes.
So she's she's just very, very funny. So I adore her. And then Bagheera, there's an organization in LA called Beach City Kitties.
Okay.
And
We'll link
they
that
were
in the show notes. Beach
yeah,
City
yeah, yeah.
Kitties?
They Beach City Kitties, yes. I haven't had the opportunity to do a whole lot with them in the most recent years, but they they're a rescue, and I believe I'm trying to remember. So if I misspeak, I apologize. This was like 2019. And they were either the spearhead or they were partnering with a rescue that would, find these colonies of cats, like street cats, and do trap, neuter, release. And so while they had them trapped, they would try to find them homes or fosters. And then if they couldn't, then they would have to put them back on the street, unfortunately. But now they, were fixed and had their shots and stuff like that, which
Yeah.
isn't a permanent thing, but maybe gave them a chance to be a little bit healthier
Yeah.
and stop, the bloom of more
The
kittens
producing,
being.
yeah.
Yeah. And so Bagheera was a part of a colony of 20. And I was part of the team, or like a team of like volunteers that would try to like share on social media and do outreach and like, make posters and things like that, and just try to get the word out in general of like, how can we find these cats fosters or homes,
Mhm.
and it was 20 cats. And after like a month, it was Bagheera and one other cat that was a Siamese cat that didn't have a foster or an adopter. And then so we did like another push of like these 2 cats, because 2 cats at a time, they're like, okay, 2 cats is more manageable than like
Yeah.
pick one of a horde. Then I guess. And so after like in less than 24 hours, the Siamese cat had a ton of like applications for either one, and Bagheera still had nothing. A saddening amount of like applications for one and not the other. Like there was like 20 for the Siamese cat in like each category, and there was like nothing for Bagheera at all.
Aw.
Who at the time was named Midnight. And
Okay.
but I think that's the name that the rescue gave him, and so obviously he's a street cat. He wasn't
Yeah.
called Midnight. Anyway,
So
your question.
do you think that is because he is a black cat and there's like a stigma against black cats being superstitious, like people are superstitious that they are bad luck?
Yes, I do. I also think like he wasn't a pretty black cat when I got him. In fact, like
Okay.
after like he didn't have any applications, I felt really bad. And I told him, I was like, you know what, I'll take him. Like he needs love and a home. And, he's super shy, but very sweet. And he's still the same. Like his shyness has just evolved, where he is sort of like a little house gremlin that comes out when he feels
Yeah.
like it. But he is very, very sweet, and I can tell he wants to be loved. But when I adopted him, or like said that I was going to adopt him, they're like, okay, like he doesn't have like a pretty smooth, soft coat. His fur is like not sleek and black. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
It's like not even all black. He had, I don't know what he went through before, but he had like these like burn marks across his face
Oof.
and like on his like and I don't know how well you can see them in any of the photos that I sent you, but like you can
Mhm.
see him in some of them. And so much so that I thought about naming him Freckles. But I
Yeah.
actually hoped that he would heal, and
Yeah.
then Freckles wouldn't make any sense.
Right.
So like that was a thing. I think that it was just he wasn't pretty, and he was a black cat, and is a
Yeah.
street cat boy. And so I feel like, people are probably like, meh, he's not pretty, he's a black cat, he's a street cat, so he's probably gonna spray, even though
Yeah.
they had him fixed. And he's not he's not done any of that. Like
Yeah.
he's now this big 16-pound like
He's huge.
he's huge. Like the vet's still like, no, he's a good size for a male cat. Like this
Yeah.
is fine. I was like, okay,
He's
he's
like
not
a
like overweight.
tank. He's just
Yeah.
a big like
Yeah.
diesel panther.
Exactly. And now he's like a complete void with the exception of his eyes.
Yeah.
And we always make jokes, like sometimes like he'll sit against like my TV and he's like
He
fully
disappears.
like, yeah, and then so when I'm like, hi Bagheera, sometimes he looks at me, he's like, you can see me?
I thought I blended in. I thought I
Yeah.
had put on my invisibility cloak.
Yes. And then so he'll come out, and especially at night. Night is his time to shine. So anything I don't want the cast to get into, I make sure is like put up and away. And because I always joke, I'm like, he's like, I am the night. I am the night. And we'll run out, and he is also the reason why I can't have any house herbs, is because he like
Oh, yeah.
systematically like ate and destroyed all of my herb plants, like
Oh,
one by
wow.
one. I was like, okay, well, at least he's only attacking the rosemary because that's like more resilient. And then eventually like ripped it out and would like take it off and play with it. And then he moved on to the basil. Like, man, great. So now I have to buy all my herbs. I can't grow them because he will destroy them. He will eat them and destroy them.
Does he actually eat them, or is it like he just chews and spits them out? And
I think yes to both. Sometimes he'll just like chew them, and the most of the mess was whenever he would just like, I think as it got towards the end, so to speak, he would like tear it out. And so then you'd have like the little stalk and like the bulb, and there's just
okay.
dirt.
Yeah.
And he's good about not getting onto counters or surfaces, but like my kitchen has like a U. So there's like two counters here, and then here's the sink, and there's a window, which is where the herbs would be, like in the window. And he would just jump up onto the sink. And so then any clean dishes that were in the strainer, I'd wake up and like there's dirt on them. There's dirt on the
Yeah.
counter, and then there's like on the floor, and then the poor little herb carcass, if you will.
Evidence.
Yes. And so I'm like, oh, great. Like, at least if he eats it, you could kind of like prune it and it would grow back. But then once he
Yeah.
like tore it
Rips
out and
it
like,
out.
yeah, because then he would like chew the stalk a little bit and then just leave it.
Yeah.
Man. But
It's pretty
he's a
hard to
very funny little dude.
resuscitate. Can't resuscitate that.
Yeah. Now I got to get a new one. And then I think
Yeah.
I tried a few times with each one before I was just like, no.
It's destroyed.
Yeah, like once it starts blooming, then he starts eating it, and then
Yeah.
are like, producing leaves. And I'm like, well, great. So no herbs for me. He's a little fiend about them.
How would you describe his personality in 3 words?
Awkward teen. That's 2 words. But I
Okay.
feel like he's just kind of like an awkward teenager. He wants to hang out, but he's
Yeah.
like just kind of like does like the weird thing always, and is just sort of like, I don't know.
And he's like
Like,
big. Like
yeah.
he's like, have you seen Inside Out?
Yes.
The second one, the new one?
Oh no, I haven't.
There's like a character embarrassment that's like just like big. He's like a big, like I think he's pink or purple, and like his clothes like fit too tight, and he always has like a plumber's crack, but he like pulls his hoodie like super tight around his face. Is it kind of like that? Like he's just like
Yeah.
a big like awkward like
Yes.
but he like wants to be a part.
Yes. Yeah, no, he's definitely like, if life were a school dance, he would be like sitting on the side of the gymnasium, just being like, I really want to go dance, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, and so, like I said,
Aw.
he's just so like skittish and shy and awkward. But he has like, he's the biggest, right? And he's like just the tiniest little meow.
Tiny. Oh,
Like, so he never grew out of his little kitten meow. And
oh, what a
but yeah,
sweetie.
I always forget how big he is because he acts so small. And
Yeah.
like, and then every now and then he'll like stretch out or like,
Yeah. Oh, I hope he can work through that in therapy. Mine just take up space.
we're getting there. There's a few photos that I sent you that like, where sometimes like he'll come out and just like hang out on the couch and like spread out and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And he will be like, he's now much more, he used to just like immediately run away as soon as he saw me like walking anywhere, like it might be in his vicinity. And now sometimes like I can kind of walk by and he's like aware. And then sometimes I can like reach out and let him sniff and like pet me and like pet him. And then other times he's like, as soon as I reach out, he's like, no, not in the mood today. And so, but he does sometimes, like he'll come out and like lay on the kitchen floor or like he knows that he has like the roam of the house. So in my opinion, that like, there's, aside from like the kitchen counters, there's nothing that's off limits to him. Like he can
Yeah.
lay wherever. Like, yeah, eventually I'm gonna have to get a new couch, and I don't know, I'm like, should I get one that has an underside that he can like crawl into, because he likes to do that. And
Oh.
every now and then
Like
I call it
under
his,
it?
yeah, like he'll go under the couch, and he like the little like thin thing that like covers the bottom of couches, like
Oh, yeah.
he's got a hole in that, and he'll crawl into the couch. And every now and then, like when I'm watching TV, I can feel like the tiniest like little like nudges on the bed, because he's like moving through his underworld, if you will.
That's
And
so funny. He's so
yeah,
big. I'm surprised he can fit under the couch.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
like,
cats are liquid, so
pretty much, I think he goes into like liquid form, because he like slinks down
yeah,
and like,
just
yeah. um
he
but he
gets
definitely
wide
like,
and flat.
so he just like flattens and like
He's like,
goes under
"Bleh."
like limbo. Like
Yeah.
if you ever watch people that like professional like limbo whatever athletes that you call, and you're just like, how
Yeah.
do you bend that way? It's definitely him to like crawl under.
That's so funny.
And he's so, but every now and then, like if somebody does come over, he'll crawl under there and hide, but not all the way. And he doesn't realize how big he is. Like his tail is still sticking out.
He's not fully hidden.
No, and he's like, oh. So it is, but it is very funny, because like my friend, sometimes like he's also really good at hiding, and not as good as Sabrina, but despite being a black cat, and she was like completely white, and you'd think you'd be able
Yeah.
to see her so easily, you couldn't. She could hide anywhere, and you're like,
Wow.
there's a finite amount of places. So he'll hide, but every now and then I'm like, okay, like he's been a little more skittish. It goes in waves. Like there's times whenever he
Yeah.
just like hides and hides, and then other times like he comes out and I'm just gonna hang. And so usually if I'm like, I feel like I haven't seen him in like 24 hours, it's like, where's he at? And then I'll just check. And there's also a chair, like an armchair in my room that he has.
Yeah. He's
He's
got his usual
burrowed
spots.
under. And
Yeah.
so my first thing is to check under the couch, and I'll like lift the couch cover up, and if you lift it up and the couch hisses at you, he's fine.
Yeah.
So we're just like, all right, you can have your space. You're there. I just want to make sure you're okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I was talking to Cheyenne. She said she came over last week, and she's like, I saw a tail sticking out, but I never saw a cat.
they're both so funny, because they're so like, I mean, that is also the thing, that he does come out and take up space. So there's a pet bed here. There's a pet bed in front of my desk. Sometimes there's like a little partial shelf on the back of this, that like you can see books laying on. Sometimes he'll sleep on that. There's like 3 pet beds that are underneath my bed. And then like the armchair, underneath the armchair, the entirety of the couch, under the couch. And so where he sleeps, like, depends. Both of them. But then as soon as anybody comes over, they hide. Like sometimes Pandora will come out and like stand in the doorway and just like stare.
Yeah.
Or like, but as soon as they leave, they both come out. Like once
That's
it's
so
just
funny.
me, they're all like,
They're
okay,
like,
no.
I don't know who this is, but no, they're not
Yeah.
gonna catch me.
Yeah, they're just like, no, we are going under. But yeah, they're just such funny little creatures. And
Yeah.
I had a friend stay with me, and she said that there was somebody that she knew that got upset whenever my friend called her cats, or like mentioned like cats are like little impish creatures, which are sort of like little demon spirits kind of a thing. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I would say that that's true. I feel like cats are like very just
Yeah.
weird
Yeah, and like,
in an adorable way.
I haven't had a cat I haven't had a lot of cats. Prince is like the cat I've had the longest, and he's very like, if you open the door, he'll like run to the door. He's kind of dog-like, but like I think it's so funny that there are cats that you can't like just won't see them for days, and they'll
Yeah.
just hide. And like I've heard of a lot of cats like that. Like I've had a lot of friends with cats that are just they're like, yeah, they if someone comes over, like you never see the cat. And I just feel like that's very like almost like I don't know, like rodent-like or like cockroach or demon or something. Like just the thing that like recesses into the wall or like hides and like
Yeah.
watches from like a corner. And then like as soon as there's no one around, they come out, they emerge. Like that's
Yeah.
so funny to me. Like that's hysterical that that's like a trait that cats have.
Yes. I think that's why like I like the term imp so much in terms of
Yeah.
like because to me that is just like very I grew up loving like reading and loving like fairy tales and fables and stuff and then
Yeah.
animals would talk a lot and but also like now growing up and like knowing you know more analysis of them and
Yeah.
of and then also knowing more about cats. I think that like to me I liken them to like a forest spirit and
Like a
like
fairy. Like fairies are
yes.
like that. Like I
Yes.
read a lot about fairies and like
Yes.
you have to like leave them offerings and like build a relationship with them, build like a trust with them. That's very cat like.
Yes.
Cats are kind of this like magical, mystical, like you
Yeah.
can't just like, oh, I'm just gonna, give you food and that's it. Like you have to like earn and continue to show them that you're a trustworthy, like
Yeah.
safe person.
Yeah. Cats as fairies is a really good
Yeah.
like comparison because like fairies are also different. Like they're not like some are
Yeah.
friendly, some are fun, some are more mischievous, some
Oh,
like
very
you never
mischievous.
see
They
like
like
they
pranks.
mm-hmm.
They're
Yes.
cats are fairies. That's the name of this episode.
Yeah.
Cats
Cats
are
are fairies.
cats are fairies.
Yes.
Done.
Every fairy you've ever read about in a fable was actually a cat.
Yep.
Uh
Yep. Tinkerbell, very cat-like. Angers
yes.
at like anyone playing with her owner.
Yes,
Like, no, no, no,
exactly.
Wendy, get out of here. Peter Pan's
Mm-mm.
mine.
Mhm. Nope. I will scream at you
Yep.
until 100%. 100%. They're
Yeah.
definitely like yeah, so I'm just like they're little forest spirit fairy
Yeah.
like whatever. Some are malevolent, some are benevolent. Like
Yeah.
they're so varied and I love that like that is what exists within a species. Like you can't even say
Yeah.
like I think the one one constant I think among every single is that like orange cats are like dumb as shit.
Yeah.
Like sweet, but not a single thought
Yeah. I mean,
there.
tuxedo cats are a close second. He's so
Yeah,
dumb.
yes,
Such
they're
a little
just like
sweetheart, but like so dumb.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
like I feel like they're like the models of the cat world where they're like, you know, they're in their proper tuxedo,
Yep.
um, and in their finery, but like, you know, they're big pretty dumb
Yep.
is what I would say is that like they're
Yep.
just like yeah I'm nice I'm in a tux and then but yeah I don't know what any of this stuff is.
Yeah. All dressed up, but the tux doesn't fit. It's like too wrong size or something. That's Prince for sure.
Yes, oh my gosh,
He's in
and
like a
yeah
suit
it's
that's too small.
yeah, and then watching like Bagheera run around and be like a little creature is I'm like, yeah, I feel like this is in line with like black cats because
Yeah.
like they're usually like very, very like I don't know. They're also kind of a weird cat. I think all cats are weird, but in like a wonderful way.
Yeah.
Like this is not like a derogatory weird. I love it. It's like a
Right. No,
charming
weird is
weird.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, weird is good. And I feel like enough people don't like cats. Anytime you say stuff about cats, like some cat people get really, really like offended or like kind of like I wanted, and I'm like, no,
Defensive,
no, no,
yeah.
this is all like a plus. Like that's
Yeah.
what these weird. What else would you expect from like a creature that domesticated themselves and like ancient cultures literally
Yeah.
built religions around and like they're just
They're so magical.
yeah, they're so magical, they're so varied, they're so like yeah, they're just so sweet and yet so not at the same
Yeah.
time.
Which is why we love them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's always
Yeah.
why I'm just like, you know, my dogs are always like really have always been like, you know, they need structure and they need stimulation and training
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And so like dogs like
They want to be told.
yeah, exactly. Like they all have different personalities and you kind of have to alter the training, but they're structured. They're like you can and can't do this. The cats I'm just kind of like within reason, we'll go on with whatever you want
Yeah.
to do. Like, if you want to, that's why people are like, oh, how long have you had Bagheera? And I'm like, well, I've had him for, a few years now, I think since like 2019. And he's still like really, really skittish. And I know people that they're like, well, you can do it. And I'm like, yes, but I think he had a hard life on the street. And I kind of want
Yeah.
him to come to me and like,
Yeah.
rather than me force a situation where I don't know, like he would open up eventually, but it's very fun to see when that like changes within him.
Yeah.
And even among the two of them, like Pandora really doesn't like him still, but sometimes on like the little pet beds or like my bed, they'll all just like coexist peacefully. And so
Aw.
it's fun to me to see that like evolution, even if it takes a really long time. I'm always just
Yeah.
like, oh, I'll play the long game.
And it teaches you
It's very cute.
patience.
Hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
And then when it happens, you're just like, oh,
I know, it's so sweet.
they're
So
so,
sweet.
so sweet and cute. And I love them. I love
I
my,
know.
my babies. And, I can't imagine a world without them. Like,
I know.
I've never not had cats and or dogs. Sometimes when people are like, oh, they don't get along. And I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. Like mine get along. Like, they may not be
Yeah.
besties. I think it's all to do with like training and what you will and will not allow. And like,
Yeah.
teaching boundaries to your pets in a sense, like to whatever degree is like
Yeah.
necessary. Yeah, I just love them so much. They're so
Oh,
sweet. And
I know. To
yeah,
have like so many animals, you're so blessed.
yeah, I am. I am. That's why I'm just always like, yeah, I'm fine to not leave my house. I've got all my
What
books.
for?
Yeah, I got my companions. We're good. We're fine here. I mean, I like my friends
Yeah.
and going to hang out with
But they're
friends.
not cats
Yeah,
and dogs.
yeah. There's the expectation is so much lower.
Oh, yeah.
Just, but yeah,
So much lower. Have you
they're
ever
so.
written anything about your cats?
I No, I don't think so. I feel like the type of stuff that I've written or that I write is usually like I write like genre stuff.
Mm,
And so it's usually something that's kind of like horror thriller. I guess like some mythology and stuff. So like maybe animals are featured, but
yeah.
like they're usually not like the focus of it. And
Have you
it's also
featured any cats in your writing as like a side character or just something in the background?
not as a character. I would say in the background, yeah. Like
Okay.
they exist.
Okay.
They're there. But like in the same way that it is in the world. Like nothing,
Yeah.
no harm is ever going to come to them. And I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of times, like in later drafts, they kind of weed their way out because if you point out that a cat exists in something, especially in like a script, people are like a dog, even like any animal, like people are kind of like, is something
People
going to
want
happen
more.
to that? Like,
Yeah. Like
um,
why are we seeing this?
yeah. And so I'm pretty vehemently like, I don't want stuff to happen to animals in my scripts. Like
Yeah.
admittedly, like Game of Thrones, like I pieced out after like episode 2 or whatever, whenever they killed the wolves. And
Oh
I
yeah,
was
that's like too
yeah,
much. They're so
yeah,
violent to literally anything in
yeah.
that show.
I'm like I came for human deaths. I'm okay with human deaths. I'm
Or
not here for
zombie, anything like
yeah.
that. What are
We're
those White Walkers? I don't know what they're called. Those.
yeah. Like I'm not for it.
Yeah,
I
same.
just they don't deserve it. Like even in films like where they try to portray like, oh, here's a killer big cat or like a killer wolf, and I'm always just
Yeah.
thinking like that that animal is like literally just doing what is natural to them. Like
Yeah.
you're like
Like
unless it's
Jaws.
some yeah, I'm like you're in
Like
their
you're
habitat.
going into the ocean voluntarily and now you're angry that this shark is going to eat you. Don't go in the ocean then.
Yeah.
Seems simple
And
to
al-
me.
and also a lot of things like that like usually play up negative stereotypes about stuff. Like,
Yeah.
there's wolves are endangered for reasons related to that. Like people are already afraid of them because they're huge and they can be you know, have like a like predator prey mentality. And, but they're most of all, like most big predators, want to be left alone. And,
Yeah.
I think we see that a lot in cats. Like they want what they want, but like they just kind of want to like exist. You know,
Yeah.
some might want love more than others, but like they want to have their food and their little toys
Yeah.
and stuff. And, you know, same with like bigger animals. And so I don't usually write anything about it. Not to say that I never will, but like most of the stuff that I write is not are not
Yeah.
things so far that are conducive to not portraying animals that like would get hurt or like I'm pretty passionate about like humans have a lot more capability and free will. And so like, you know, consequences can befall them. But I feel
Yeah.
really, really worry about featuring any sort of animal which might
Mm.
have come to harm or be an instigator of harm, just because I
Yeah.
really do think that it's super easy for people to be like, oh, I'm scared of that now. Like,
Yeah. Do you have a favorite film with a cat?
this is a throwback from my childhood. I really loved Oliver and Company.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, that's such a good one.
Homeward Bound also. We definitely had that on VHS. Um,
Does that have a cat? Can't
yeah, it
remember.
had
I can't
right
remember
like
that movie.
yeah, Homeward Bound
Homeward
definitely had a cat.
Bound.
Yeah, yeah, Homeward Bound had like the golden retriever, the pit bull, and the Siamese cat.
Was
And
that an
they
animated?
no, it was live action.
Oh, okay.
And they didn't like the animals didn't like move their mouth to talk, at least that I remember.
Yeah.
But it was more like voiceover. Like we could, you know, that's what like the frame would focus on this animal when they're talking this one, that one.
Yeah.
And yeah, so let me see. And then I don't know, it's so funny. Most things that like feature cats and dogs are usually like children's things.
Yeah.
Um,
In like a
any
nice way.
yeah, anything that's like like the adult version, that like the non-child version that I can think of is like Pet Cemetery, which again like features the cat,
Yeah.
but it's like I don't think that the cat itself is evil. I haven't read the book, that said.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I remember that, and I just remember it being like feeling bad. I actually remember feeling bad for the cat. Like
Yeah.
that cat doesn't deserve to come back. That cat deserves rest.
Leave that cat
And
alone. Don't
yes,
bring it
yeah.
back.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
We don't do that. It sucks to see them go and stuff, but like
Yeah.
I think that's the whole, you know, one of the points of that story is, you know, just things need to end. Like
Yeah.
the ending is what gives everything else the meaning. And so
Yeah. Let your
um
cat go.
yeah. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of whenever anything has an animal in it. Ham, actually, my dog, she loves whenever any animal comes on screen, and she has opinions. She like usually if we're watching, she'll sit here and then perk her head up and then just like watch TV. And then like sometimes depending on it, especially if it's a dog, she'll like jump down and like stand right nose to nose like with the TV.
Really?
And yeah.
That's
Um
cute.
so she, especially like cat, she'll hear the cat meow and be like, cat?
It's a cat.
It's a
I gotta
cat?
go see.
Yeah, she's just enthralled with my cats. And like I think that one day Bagheera will figure out a way to play with her.
I
But
hope
for now,
so. That'd be
she's
cute.
she just keeps trying. She just like and she
Yeah.
just wants to be friends with everybody and everything. And the cats, like Pandora, I think she's too proper to be seen playing like that.
That's too
Um
juvenile.
it is too juvenile. Whereas if
For
she's like,
Pandora.
yeah, if there's greebles or if there's like a fly or something, or she's hunting a cricket, that's not unsophisticated. She can look however she does because she's doing something official.
Yes.
Um,
Official business.
but yeah, she cannot be seen to be playing with another animal because that is not proper.
The mongrels.
Yes, exactly. Um, and then it's also very funny to watch her, like if I have like a catnip toy, then like watch her like lose her mind. Uh
Yeah, she goes
Just be like,
full primal.
yeah.
Ah!
Yes. Yes. And then eventually she like kind of calms down. It's like the high subsides and
Yeah,
she's just like, okay, I must go loaf now.
yeah.
That never happened. Um she's
'Twas not
so
me.
twas not me. Um no. Whereas Bagheera, he's just like he'll just play and he's like we his little awkward teen self. But yeah,
Aw.
they're very sweet.
Oh, love this. Well, I would talk about this forever, but
I
unfortunately
know.
I have to go.
Okay.
But but where can
Oh,
people find you online if they would like to see more about you, maybe your writing or your cats
um
slash dogs?
I am on Instagram primarily as at Ana Mendez writes. I do other stuff now, but that's the
Uh-huh.
handle I got.
Okay.
And so yeah, so primarily there. I'm kind of technically on other places like Facebook or Threads, but not really.
Yeah.
The account exists, but nothing ever really goes on there. And yeah, and that's where you can find all things writing projects, post things of my pets. There's a post I made um, because Pandora is so proper. It was juxtapositioning Pandora with Ham, and Ham loves playing, and she's really super doofy. And we had just gotten out of like playing in the rain and the water, and Pandora was very like just the look on her face. She was like did not approve when we came back. And
Yeah.
Ham was just like, it's so exciting. And Pandora's like, you are an uncouth swine.
Yes.
Um,
You
and
are
so,
brainless, uncivilized.
yes. And so, yeah, so that's where you can find, I usually post things about writing or animals. And it's not my account, but there's also a great Instagram account called Cats Being Weird Little Guys. Um,
Okay.
that I would like to plug because if you love cats and you are not following Cats Being Weird Little Guys, they just do, there's just like a whole bunch that goes with like the fairies and like the impish. Like
Yeah.
they're just cats doing weird shit in very funny and endearing ways is there. Cats Being Weird Little Guys on Instagram is probably my favorite account. Uh,
Love that. Everyone go follow them now. I know I will.
yes. I think I send you stuff from time to time from
I
their
feel like
page.
you do. You are like there's like a handful of people that send me cat memes like every so often, and like you're definitely one of them that sends me good ones.
Yes, they're all just like, oh my gosh, look at this fucking weirdo. I love it. And then just somebody else has to see this. Who else would love
Yeah.
how weird this cat is?
Always. Right here.
Yeah, always so much. Alrighty, awesome.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much. This was such a pleasure. And say goodbye to Pandora and Bagheera for me.
I will. I'll go check under the couch for
Tell
Bagheera.
tell them it was me that's saying bye and they'll know. Well, that wraps up our show for today. Thank you so much to our guest, Ana, and her cats, Pandora and Bagheera. You can stalk us on all social platforms at My Cat Calling and listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. If you like to show your support for our indie podcast, you can subscribe to our channel or leave a comment or share this episode with the cat lover in your life. Thanks for listening. We love you.